Hey, it's Kris Wise here with Wise About Flower Mound, and I am here with Lori Williams with Lori Williams Senior Services. And we're not talking seniors like high school. We're talking about our best generation, the silver-headed crew. So Lori, I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So tell me, when did you get into this business?
So about 13, 14 years ago.
Okay.
And what kind of spurred me on, my grandmother had dementia. So kind of went through that whole journey, and that made me, just very interested in learning more about senior living, and that's how I got started.
Yeah, I tell you, because I mean, all my grandparents have since passed, but just they were all in great facilities, and that worked out well. But yeah, I'm sure my parents went through a lot just trying to find the right place for them. Yeah. So it's good to have a Sherpa come through and really guide you.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what you do this every day. It's kind of like what I do. I do it every day, and so I know the ins and outs just like you know the ins and outs. And you really need somebody who's an expert.
You really do, because there's a lot of confusion on the different types of senior living. There's confusion on how it's paid for. A lot of people think it's paid by Medicare. It is not.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and just every day I get questions where people they don't know. So I started a podcast also to help with that education piece, because there is so much to know about senior living.
Yeah, and you want them in the right place.
Oh, absolutely.
You want them in the place that makes sense.
Yeah, where they're going to thrive, and where they're, you don't want to move them to assisted living if that's really not where their need is.
Yeah, that they're really independent, but they just want to have somebody else cook for them. I tell you, there's times when I'd like to go live in independent living, but just to have
Me
all
too,
that.
Right?
It was like being at Club Med all the time.
No cooking, no cleaning. I'm all about that.
Yes, definitely. Sign me up.
Definitely.
So what areas do you focus, like geographically? I mean, tell me about your services.
Well, we cover all of Dallas-Fort Worth.
Oh, wow.
And we work with everything from 55 plus senior apartments to, independent living with the 3 meals, assisted living, memory care, and residential care homes.
Okay.
So we have a lot of partners. We partner with the communities. It's a free service for seniors and their families.
Oh, wow.
And we're paid because we have contracts with the senior communities.
Okay.
And that's how we can keep it a free service.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really great. So my parents built a house a couple of years ago. My parents live with us, but I know that they're not, going to be there forever. There's going to come a point where just living with us is not going to be enough, and so guess who I'll be calling? Because I will definitely need help, because I don't know, what the places are around here, and like you said, the building piece of it. I mean, both my grandparents, gosh, they were in places that were $6,000 or $7,000 a month. And fortunately, my California grandparents, they sold their house for, they paid like $30,000 and sold it for $400 or $500. That was before things really got nuts, and that was their retirement. So that, paid down that $7,000 a month.
And there are a lot of people who don't have much in resources. So we get creative, and I try to find an answer for everyone, because if someone calls me and they only have $700 a month, we try to find some answer, whether it's staying in their home, maybe we can hook them up with Meals on Wheels, whatever we can do to help them. And then there are options, like I said, some of these like residential care homes. If someone has dementia and they can't afford a say $6,000 a month memory care, we have some care homes that do excellent care, and they could maybe do $3,000 a month. So we have a lot of different options, and I try to help people no matter what their income find something. I don't like anyone to leave me without some direction to go in.
Exactly. So finding a facility or a place for them to call home, and so then also care for them to age in place. Okay.
So I work with, partner with a lot of home care, home health, hospice. So, like I said, it's just all about educating, and I have, network with all these different people, and have been in it for so long, so I can answer those questions for you. I have someone who can help with Medicare, how to determine if you are Medicare Original or Medicare Advantage.
I don't know all that stuff.
I know. Well, I am not an expert either, so I call in experts, and then I also have them on my podcast to give further information.
That is great. That is great. So, so care. I'm trying to think of what about transportation? Do you do anything to help seniors with transportation needs?
In this area, I can connect them with SPAN, of course, which is a great resource. there are, I mean, a lot of home care agencies or personal assistance services that can provide transportation, take them to doctor's appointments and that sort of thing. So, I mean, there are options out there.
Yeah, that's great. That is great, because I tell you, as we all get older, just trying to think what our long-term plan is and, what makes sense.
And the first things that we see people needing, I mean, it's socialization. People get very lonely staying at home.
Yeah.
So we really encourage you, if you are a senior living at home, that you get involved, somewhere, whether it's with your church or through your senior center. And in the Dallas area, every town has a pretty amazing senior center.
Ours is awesome.
The town of Flower Mound is unbelievable. So it's $10 a year.
I know, you can't beat that.
No.
And I have to do a shameless plug. So my husband was on town council when they approved it and when it opened. So you'll see his name right at the entry. So he's very proud of that senior center, because he was one of the people who's integral in getting that passed. And I mean, it just turned out so nice.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
and then when we turned, when we turned 50, because you have to be 50, which was several years ago. My husband joined. I have yet to join, because I'm like, I'm not there yet. But yeah, I should join.
I did join right before COVID, because they've been kind of on me to join, and I'm like, I really should, because you only have to be 50. I mean, I passed that a while ago, but I said, okay, I'll join. But they have, it's closed right now due to COVID, but they're doing Zoom things, all kinds of fun activities.
Well, and they're, I think for $2 or something, you can have lunch.
It's $4.
Okay, so my parents have driven, through the line and gotten lunch, and it's local restaurants. I mean, so it's, Swirl Bakery. I mean,
Mama's
there's been,
daughter.
So they were really pleased with it.
It's a very cool deal, and it's Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
You have to RSVP.
Yes.
So that they know you're coming, and I think the biggest amount they've had go through was 200.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but
wow,
it's such a deal.
200. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I mean, socialization. If you're staying home, that's huge. So get involved somewhere, and then of course, like medication is the other big thing. So there's all kinds of resources for that too if you're staying home. I mean, there's just like your regular pill boxes, but then they have like the Cadillac of pill boxes where it like calls it a tattletale on you, call your daughter or whoever is in charge if you didn't take it. So I mean, there's so much we can do with technology to stay home and stay safe.
Right, definitely. So wow, I'm sure it's been really hard with seniors who are at home and want to stay protected. I know even my parents, they kind of stayed away from us for a little bit, because we didn't know when this all started what it was going to be like. So but that isolation, that's got to be hard.
And that's been really hard on our seniors in communities. It is starting to open up now, though, which is good. So like the independent livings are a little more open. They're doing some outdoor concerts. I know one here in Flower Mound just did an outdoor concert Friday, and it was beautiful to see everyone sitting out. They were socially distanced and masked, but it was so fun.
But
and
to be able to get out and that's been probably the hardest thing. I know my dear friend in Fort Worth, her mother's in assisted living, and they've been on lockdown, and she hasn't been able to see her, and it's just awful.
I can't imagine. They've done like these window visits.
Yes,
and things,
it's just still, that's not the same.
No, it's all opening up now, thankfully, and hopefully we'll continue opening up in that direction.
Yeah, definitely. Well, gosh, so who? I mean, I guess who is your target client? Like, is it like somebody like me that my parents maybe in 10 years they're like, I'm going to need some help. Do I just give you a call?
Absolutely. So my target is usually women. We are the ones, even if it's our mother-in-law.
We're the caretakers.
We are. Every now and then it'll be, the man, but it's usually a woman. And I would say probably age 40 and up.
Okay.
40, I mean, because even like I'll have people contacting me in their 70s who are helping their moms who are late 90s. And it's
who are very active, and now it's like maybe dad's died and they're home alone and they're just concerned.
So I mean, it's amazing. Before I start working senior living, I never would have thought that I would be regularly speaking to people in their 90s, but I am, and we're living longer, and it's really cool. I get to meet some really amazing people. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely enjoy your job.
I do. I love it.
I love following you on Facebook, and just, I mean, you're the person I think of when it comes to senior. If I have anybody who ever needs anything, I'm sending them your way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So great, and it's great to know that your services are paid for, you know, through those other companies. So somebody's not going to cheap out and go, well, you know, I can't afford to have somebody guide me through this process, because I know there's so many different options, and the billing is so, I mean, that's the part that scares me. It's like, I don't know. I always hear the horror stories about, you know, the old lady, usually it's the woman who's left, but the old lady who sells the house and all the money goes to the nursing home, or however that works. And I never understood how that went. I mean, I'm on the selling of the house side, but you know, it sounds like that there's certainly some options.
Yeah, there's lots of great options out there, but I think people, they try it on their own, trying to find something, and they Google, or their friend.
Yes.
And I see this on Facebook a lot, where my friend said go to, you know, this nursing home, but maybe they
don't
just
need that.
They need independent living. So really, I mean, the best thing you can do is just call me, because I'll save you a lot of time and stress, frustration, going to visit places that maybe aren't the right fit or don't have openings, because I know all that information, who has availability, what prices they have, if they're running specials. So so it really, I mean, you can do it by yourself, but
but why? Well, it's same as selling your house. I mean, you can do for sell by owner, and as long as everything goes right, go for it. You quote save money. It's when, you know, who's helping you make those decisions that could be costing you a lot of money, but you don't know, because you don't know.
That's true.
You need somebody who's going to guide you through.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've run into way too many people who moved mom into assisted living when all she needed was meals and maybe socialization. She could have been in independent living.
And they're paying for assisted living when she doesn't need it.
Yeah, they could have saved a lot of money. And then, you know, now they're calling saying mom needs assisted living, but she can't afford it now.
Right.
So don't make that mistake.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh,
lots of options.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's definitely good to get an expert on your side, because they can save you. It's just like a designer. A designer can save you money. Yes, they charge you, but they're going to help you make decisions, just like Lori would, that are going to save you money in the long run. And that's, you know, that's the most important thing.
Yes, absolutely.
So, awesome. Well, good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have enjoyed this. So once again, this is Lori Williams with Lori Williams Senior Services. I'm Kris Wise with Wise About Flower Mound, and information is below, and check us out, and thank you so much.